I'm sitting with this collection of paintings, and I keep thinking in my mind, I'm getting ready to let them go. And I've got to let one of those getting readies go. Like, what will it take for me to be ready to let them go? So what I've realized or decided, or both, is that one of the things that will help me be ready is to really thoroughly investigate what these paintings mean to me. Why have I got such a strong desire to hold on to them and not let them go? You in some ways you might think, well, then don't, just hold on to them all. But that doesn't feel quite right either. So there's like an internal dilemma that's been going on, that parts of me want to be a professional artist, make art and let it go out into the world. And parts of me, or let's not go into what parts, but maybe a younger, smaller part wants me to play with her, wants me to make art that she loves, and she wants to hold on to some. It's reminding me of when little kids make art and mum puts it on the fridge or on the wall, and you feel so proud. A little bit of that. And so this is what I've been exploring, and I thought I'd share it. I'd share it with you, because I wonder how many other artists go through this as well. And after being an artist for a long time, like 24 years, I've been doing this, and been through all kinds of different periods of life during that time. And sometimes it's been much easier and sometimes not, this whole selling thing. So one of the things I have done, I've done a few things. So I thought I would share those with you. What have I done? What am I doing to help myself get through this seeming situation that's come up? So one of the things was I have this little character here, little Dee Dee, which I've been drawing her for quite some years, and she is like the little golden child. She's really quite a healthy little inner child representation in a way. And so she and I have some nice conversations, and I make drawings of her, and she likes to express things through me, like this is like a little character here. And then when I'm doing IFS, there's other characters or other parts that come up. And even though that's a private, deeply personal thing, in some aspects I don't mind sharing snippets of it, because I think it's universal. These internal parts of us, internal family system. It's probably different names for it, different ways of holding it and looking at it. And so there's another few little parts. And so for this collection, I felt like little Dee Dee didn't mind. She doesn't give a hoot. But I wanted to tune in to this other little part, or this aspect of me that actually just wants to hold on tight and not let go of some of these paintings. I think partly it could be due to the fact that they're small. I have a real affinity with small things, and I think it comes from hanging out with the inner child part of me, that inner innocence in a way. And so I've collected, these little things to honor that little part in me. And so I've got this little table and chairs here. And so it occurred to me to make a drawing with my left hand, and that's what I did here. I made a drawing with my left hand and drew another little girl who was similar but different to the little Dee Dee one. And I used to wear a red raincoat when I was young, and that was one of the terms of endearment or affection I do remember from my dad. He thought I looked like Red Riding Hood going off on the back of my sister's bike on the way to school. So that's a beautiful childhood memory. with my very troubled dad, but it's lovely to hold on to some beautiful things that also he gave me. So what I've done is I've actually been, setting up this whole kind of like exhibition and seating these two so it's their own private show, which may seem bonkers to some people, but yeah, I don't really care. This is me taking care of the parts in me that apparently need it right now. And so that's what I've done. I've made these little characters as if they are enjoying their own private show. And so that's one of the things. And just having them hanging out with me. It's like they're little, they're reminding me to have access to those parts and not forget them. They're important too. They don't run my life, but I think that's part of the whole IFS therapy is when we have parts that are quite wounded from childhood, the results of that can start running our life, and it's really, really uncomfortable. And so that's why I'm really looking into healing some of those things at the moment. And so then another thing I've done is something that I've already been doing before this, but it really resonated to do it again. And that was to draw the paintings of this collection, like make a drawing of them in my little notebook, my little journal, and then write some stream of consciousness or writing that pertains to the meaning that I have given or received from these pieces. So that's been really lovely, and then I get to keep that. I can share with you a couple here. So this was the first one in the collection, the first painting that I did. And so I said, I feel the name Gladys comes to mind when I look at this lady, warming her hands on her cup of hot tea, her favourite green teapot faithfully sitting with her, holding the leaves and hot water that will fill her cup with gladness. Tea time is sacred for many women, perhaps men too, but it was something built into my mother's life that gave her permission to pause, to sit down and maybe relax a little bit. Tea was our medicine. It made Mother smile. It must be good. I feel peacefulness, surrender, satisfaction, embracing imperfection, elegant simplicity, but a little messy around the edges. It's been a trying time of late. A world of contradictions lives within and without. Peace found in oneself at home is no small thing. It is everything. I feel deep gratitude for this. So all of that came from just hanging out with this little painting. And then the next, I'll just share a few with you because they really touched my heart a lot. Okay, so this one, self-compassion, hugging herself firmly as she feels so much turmoil within. She's learning that it's the love and comfort and presence of self that is needed by her parts inside. All the little selves or internal family members that have been with her all along, but she sometimes thought the angry one and the sad one were all of her, especially when they were flooded with their emotions. Blended, they call it in IFS. Unblending is when we as self can witness the part in us that is overwhelmed and hear what that part wants us to know. They're actually wanting to help. An anxiety attack really feels like help at the time, but if I listen, there's something attached to that feeling sometimes. Oh, and this little one. So this is in order of how they were painted. That was the first, second, this was the third. She's outside. It feels jungle-like, but tropical, safe to stop and close her eyes, hold her face in her own hands, be your own beloved. It's so vital to be able to love and be of comfort to yourself, not only for others. I am here for you. she says to the ones inside, self-energy enveloping all of her parts with loving acceptance, compassion, and curiosity. So I guess you can get from this that in a way, working with the internal family systems and with a therapist, this is part of my way of working with that on my own after, so that I integrate it more into myself. Oh, and this one, I think she's fabulous too. I love her. Collapsing face down onto the couch in her most dramatic expression of fed up, giving up for this moment any need to remain upright, composed, or well behaved, completely shattered by the entanglement of emotions and restlessness of the energies of all the feelings in the world, swirling around in the atmosphere. Isn't it a wonder more people aren't falling face down on their couches right now? And I also love how this one reminds me of my daughter Kayla. And this one. Sitting with her plant friends and a cuppa, holding her own hands, she's quiet and cozy in her favourite green cardigan. Thoughts of today, tomorrow, all manner of things, but peace is most often found right there in this present moment. I feel her name could be Carmel. She reminds me of my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law's passed, so it's lovely to be reminded of her there. This one. Tea has been had, cups and teapot as evidence. 3 funny portraits on the wall. They could be plates. They look a bit like portholes. This is a bit of fun. I had thoughts about drawing different parts and wondering about their different personalities. Oh, and then this one. I think this is the one I have to keep. It's the first little one, I put Aura in, our little dog. So OMG, little Aura, the darlingest little fur love in our lives. I've been wanting to paint her for the longest time, but thought it was too hard. But making tiny paintings invited me to just try, just do it. And the delight I felt, and my friends on Insta love this one. She's just such a love, sitting here at this table, staring directly at me as she so often does. This one really makes me smile. And perhaps little Nisa wants to keep this one. And my husband likes it too. Okay, well, there might be enough to share of all these little meanderings, but I just wanted to show you that can be a really lovely piece of the process of letting go. And then lastly, I guess what I've done is I have photographed the paintings and then made little printouts of all of them, so that I can stick these in a little book or have it like that. I can even blue tack these ones up on the wall, so when they sell, and I have to be optimistic, like, will they sell? Will people want them? That goes through your mind as well when you release art into the world. It's such a difficult part for me, that whole thing of putting your work out into the world, and will it be loved as much as you love it, and then putting a monetary value on it. Really, really challenging. I wonder if you find that really difficult as well if you sell your art, because that is one of my ways that I make money in the world. So it's just been interesting how that's all been coming up. Oh, there's this one here that was an older painting, and I just did some editing on it and gave her a cup of coffee and a black glove, and she looked like it was very wintry with her turtleneck. So there's that one. So yeah, these I will be able to keep again, so that I have reminders, memories of these pieces. These ones here are different again. They are another size up. So they're quite a bit bigger. Oh dear. Quite a bit bigger than these other ones. Oh dear, we've got a bit of a situation. I'll just leave them like that. And these ones have a really special kind of feelings with them as well for me. So I've yet to draw these, I think. Drawing them as opposed to just having pictures of them is different again, because your hand revisits the lines. It's quite lovely. So if you haven't tried that, you might enjoy that idea. And it's funny because, you know, usually people might think you work from a sketch beforehand, but it's also nice to then sketch your painting afterwards so that you can keep that memory. So yeah, I think that's probably about it for now. Oh, there's some abstract pieces as well that I was going to go on and make something else, but at this point I haven't. They feel like they're kind of complete on their own. So that's about these paintings. Thanks for watching.